that Thabo Bester could not pay his protection fee to a 26 gang, which is something completely illegal within prison cells. But you approve it. You approve an application on the basis of illegal operations inside correctional centers. Is that not a way of you approving the gangsterism that is happening in those prison cells?
Honourable Member, I'll ask Mr. Manyanti to answer that. I just want to clarify, I did not make the statement regarding...
You did not what?
I did not make the statement regarding the 26 gang during the session this morning.
Honourable Member, it's not to say we are promoting gangsterism. The reasons that are provided to us by inmates, even if we've got a view that this reason is not so legitimate, but we cannot take a risk and deny that inmate that opportunity, because if the inmate is of the view that his life is in danger, we need to be cautious. We really need to take an urgent step. And for the inmate to apply to be kept in single cell, it is a formal process that we need to follow. There was nothing wrong with the administration and the placement of the inmate in the single cell.
So you chose to isolate the inmate under threat and not deal with those who are threatening him?
Honourable Member, at that moment we were dealing with the application, and the application from the applicant was that his life is in danger, and therefore the Correctional Services Act gave us a direction to say how must we deal with such applications. That's why we then went to Section 30 and followed in the direction of the...
What did you do to those who are alleged to be the 26 gang inside the prison cell? Did you do anything?
Honourable Member, according to my knowledge...
Those who threatened Thabo Bester, did you do anything with them?
At this moment, I don't have that information.
You did nothing. The last issue, Chair, I want to cover is the last issue, and I'm sure I'm still fine in terms of time. You take Mr. Bester to cell 35. Firstly, do you agree that cell 35 is a blind spot from cameras? Do you agree?
It's not a blind spot, Honourable Member, but it's poorly seen on TV because the camera is a little bit far from that point, but you can see.
What is a blind spot? What do you define? How do you define a blind spot?
A blind
spot, in your own understanding.
A blind spot is where you can see nothing, sir.
Okay. Do you agree that cell 35 is next to an emergency exit? Do you agree?
Agree, Honourable Member.
Okay. Why did you put Bester next to an emergency exit, as though that you anticipated that there is going to be an emergency? Why?
On the placement of inmate Bester at that point, there was no information available that indicated that a possible incident may happen. And it's a approved cell that is developed by and built as in accordance with the specifications as received from government on how the centre must be built. It was approved by government in that situation, and therefore the cell was used because it was available.
The question is it not coincidence that you took Thabo Bester to next to an emergency exit, and immediately a day after there was an emergency and he exited until he was caught in Tanzania? Is it not coincidence?
In hindsight, Honourable Member, it could like coincidence, but as informed, during the incarceration, during the movement of inmate Bester, there was no information available that led to anybody thinking that putting him in that cell will raise to the incident that happened on the 2nd and 3rd of May.
Okay. Chair, I will submit to the committee that Thabo Bester was deliberately taken to next to an exit because the escape was thoroughly planned. But I'll do that when the committee deliberates for us to take the report to the National Assembly. Thabo Bester makes an application on the 15th of April. On the 16th of April, Thabo Bester receives a secret visit. Who is this person who visited Bester on the 16th of April? Name him. The person who visited Bester on the 16th of April 2022, who is that? You don't know.
Perhaps, Honourable Chair, I can ask my colleagues, do you have knowledge of a visit, regardless of the person on that day, to inmate Bester?
I can confirm that his visit record proved no visit on that specific day.
Chair, I will submit to the committee deliberations that Bester had a secret visitor on the 16th of April 2022, and G4S is dishonest. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. On the issue of the computer, what measures have you put in place to ensure that people who are using their private computers, those computers cannot be used for any other unlawful activity?
Honourable Chair, according to the direction of this ruling from the court, it says those laptops that are provided to inmates must not have a modem. So the measures that we have put in place is that we need to have a proof that indeed has registered with the institution, which we can also confirm. And then after that, we do provide the laptop to the learner.
How many times do you check the laptop?
Honourable Member, we don't physically check the laptop, but from our IT system office, they've got a screen where they monitor the use of these laptops if the students are using the laptops in the school.
Thank you very much. Honourable Breitenbach.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. I'd like to start off with a comment to G4S.
Honourable Breitenbach, can you move closer to the mic?
I can't move these chairs, unfortunately. So, you've provided us with a 21-page report, because on page 22 you say thank you. So, 21-page report that is largely exculpatory. In fact, it's completely exculpatory. It acknowledges no responsibility for this incident. You tell us how you have followed the correct processes that you should follow, and how you've cooperated ex post facto with a variety of institutions which are questioned, but nevertheless. And that's what you tell us. You don't tell us what happened, how this happened, what you've done about what happened. There's absolutely no indication in this report that G4S accepts any responsibility for the fact that until yesterday there was a serial murderer and rapist on the run. Can you tell me why that is?
Honourable Member, as I mentioned, when it comes to the investigation of what happened that night, we could only investigate what happened under our control, what happened at the MCC that night. And I believe that investigation we have done. We have determined who the people under our control are who did not comply with policies and procedures that evening that may have contributed to the escape. We suspended them and we dismissed them. Incidentally, they have taken their suspensions to the CCMA for review. So they disagree with the decisions that we arrived at. But as far as the initial investigation around a suicide is concerned, and we need to remind ourselves that was the initial facts that we had to deal with. And then later the murder investigation. As far as that's concerned, Those are criminal and forensic matters that we do not have the skills, nor, I guess, the permission to investigate. Our obligation is to investigate internally, to deal with those individuals, and to pass that information to the police services so that they can take that information and assist them with their investigations. I think, Honourable Member, with respect, it's harsh to say that we did nothing.
Well, harsh, not harsh, be that as it may, it's my view. You can like it, you can lump it, don't really care. So, you're saying we complied with protocols and procedures and that's it. We stand back and we have no further obligation here. So your